Alright, so this is the rear differential that came out of this Cadillac. So in the last video, I had bought one off of Amazon. It was about $8.50 or something like that. Everything looked identical except the flanges where the axles bolt up was different, and then these splines wouldn't interchange with the unit, the other unit. So this is a 285 gear ratio because it's an 8-speed car, and I have no idea what first gear ratio is on it, but in a 6L80 it's like a 4.03, and the Caprices have a 292 rear end, so it must have a pretty steep first gear ratio, you know, with it being 8-speed. So I sent the other one back and then was looking around hoping that I could get the right bearing kit to fix this one. It looks like the ring and pinion's okay, and the ring gear is not bolted to the carrier, because when I was turning it, trying to tighten it's got a spanner nut that has the 4 things in it. If you can see it, there you go. When I was trying to tighten it up, I was trying to lock something in the ring gear bolts to hold it while I tightened it, and then I looked at it and there's no bolts to bolt the ring gear to the carrier. So this is a strange rear end, and like I say, finding one is very difficult. I'm not sure why, you know, because they seem to be problematic, but anyway, so this bearing kit was $120, and it does not have the ball bearing type bearings that this had. It has your traditional roller thrust bearings. So it's got new bearings, new races, and feels okay. You can't really, I don't know, you would have to have a different thickness clip to adjust the side-to-side movement on your ring gear to set your backlash. So I don't know. I just put it back how it was and hope for the best, because like I say, Car Dash Part, you look them up and they're $2,000 for this thing, and a CTS V rear end you can get for like $1,500. And I mean, this is a pathetic little rear end, and I have no idea why it's that expensive. And I don't know what the one that I got fits. I don't know if the ATS is different or what, but the axles for these things are very expensive too. So I don't know if it's just a Cadillac thing or what the deal is, but I'm going to put the seals back in, put the stub shafts in, and then try to get this thing back together and get in the car so my wife can have her Cadillac back. And speaking of Cadillacs, I took I pulled the mufflers, no Flowmaster FXs on the back. After I made the other video, that other muffler like this came in and I put it on there. And this muffler on this Trailblazer with long tube headers with just this muffler on it is pretty quiet for just this muffler. So on my Cadillac, I have the headers, and then I've got these little what do you call them, like a cherry bomb looking little muffler. And then I put the center muffler. Yeah, they look like this, is what the little mufflers look like on the headers. So I have these right after the headers, and then that muffler, you know, in the drive shaft tunnel. And then I had the Flowmaster FXs at the back. And when I went to pick up my children from school, it was just, I don't know if like the drone or what, it was just so unbearable. My head hurt. So as soon as I got home, I pulled it in the shop and cut those Flowmaster FX is off right at the back, right where it goes under the rear end, and put the stock mufflers back on. I cut it here and then put the 2.5 tailpipe and stock muffler back on mine, and it's so much quieter. The other thing is the motor mounts. Like a dummy, I put solid motor mounts on it, and you can go ahead and laugh, but they were like $130, and then Creative Steel, their other mount was like $500. I was like, man, I'm not spending $500 on it. So I bought the $130 ones. I hate them. So now there's another mount somebody makes. I don't know who it is, but they're $280. So now I should have bought the $500 mounts, because now I've got $500 in mounts. But I can't take it. I just cannot take it. The drone, and then the solid mounts, and then for some reason the belt's squealing. So I'm gonna go buy a new belt for it today, because these are little things that just make you not want to drive the car, and I do not want that, because I really like my V. The other thing is the radio. This radio worked surprisingly. The screen is kind of foobar, but and it's funny because it has a DVD. So I don't know if you could, I guess you could watch DVDs on it. So it has a DVD player and a CD player. But I don't know. I'm sure you couldn't watch it going down the road, because I remember all my buddies that were in the stereos, back when that was, when the thing came out of the dash and flipped up and had the screen on it. I thought that was the stupidest thing, but all my buddies had them, and they were so expensive, and I thought they just looked hideous in my opinion. But again, I like a nice factory radio. But on those radios, they would have to wire it and bypass it somehow, so it would play DVDs or whatever while you were going, because otherwise when you put it in drive, it would turn off or something. My Denali was the same way, but it had a flip down in the back, and it would play on the back screen, but on the front screen it would just have the movie title or something, because you couldn't watch it while you were driving. But so I don't know why it has a DVD player. And this thing is pretty heavy too. I mean, look at how big this thing is. It's hilarious how heavy it is. But anyway, the connection for this thing, it had a weird connection for the antenna, and then that's for the GPS. So this one has like a screw in with like a coax kind of looking cable. So I ordered an adapter, because I don't want to run this in my car. If I can use the factory GPS thing, like I say, I got the adapter, so I'm going to try that. And then I got the adapter for this coming, and then I do want to run the backup camera, because I think that'd be neat to have a backup camera on it. And then it comes with this nice little microphone to go on it, so I guess I'll try to put that somewhere. And then I guess these are USB things or something. I don't know if I'll put those in or not, but I would like to get the backup camera and obviously the antenna working so the radio will work. And then I don't know about connecting my phone to the radio. I don't know how to do all that. My wife got that to work, and then it plays. But I don't know. I like the radio. So my buddy's gonna come over, and he's gonna try to show me how the new radio works and everything, because he picked it out and told me it was the best one that they made, and he highly recommended it. And then we waited a month and a half for it. So and another thing is that this is the connector for a different Cadillac, I guess, but in Chinese it says to hook up, I don't know what all these wires are, antenna wire, and then one of them says like key 1 and there it is, key 1 and key 2. So I don't understand. I don't know, do I need those? And there's no instructions, of course, or they'd be in Chinese and I wouldn't be able to read them. But why would you need the keyed wires if it's getting the power from the car? I don't understand what that's for. If that's for another function, I understand that for the camera here. Yeah, this wire. So you got to hook up power and ground on it for the camera to work. But I don't understand if these, because I didn't hook them up obviously in the car, because I assumed that it was getting constant on this yellow from the car and the keyed power from the car harness. So I don't know what it would need that power for. So I might have to hook that up. I wish I knew, more about that, and I could, find out where to look to find that information out. But it did come with a little picture for the camera wiring. So anyway, but I think once I get the motor mount swapped out, get the radio where it works, and get the belt to quit squealing, I think now with the quiet mufflers on it, it runs pretty good especially with the LS2 throttle body on it now. I could really feel a difference. And then the cold air intake will be here Monday, so I need to drive it around some, get some. It says 1,200 shift cycles to break in the clutch. So every time I make a shift, I've got a piece of paper in the car, and I put a mark at how many shifts I've made, so I can try to get to 1,200, and then it'll be broken in. So probably in about 10 years, I'll have the clutch broke in and be able to go wide open throttle on it. So, but anyway, gonna try to get this thing back together, and hopefully it works, and that'll be the end of the Cadillac rear end debacle on this thing.